Welcome to Theater Crafts, where we take theater memorabilia and we make brand new treasures. Okay, so I know you've been in lots of shows where you want to give a special gift as an opening night present for someone special, or a closing night gift to, I don't know, the director or your singing coach or whatever. And you want to make it personalized. So I've got a really cool way of doing that. You can take a theater poster for the show that you're working on, and you can transform that poster using a flower that you can decorate a gift box or a gift bag. I'm going to show you today. Basically, this is cut. Now, I've cut it using a Cricut, but you can cut it using, a pattern that you find online and just copy that, trace it, and cut it out of your poster, and then make a really beautiful flower for your gift. All right, we're going to show you how to do it. Stay tuned. Let's craft. Okay, so we're going to start in Cricut Design Space today. So you see here, I have my Cricut open, and we're going to start a new project. Okay, and what we're going to do, it brings up a new project page, and we're going to go to Images over here. And I've already typed in flower because I've done this already. So you can type in flower. I've also typed in 3D flower, and I'm going to do the 3D flower first. Look at all these options here for 3D flowers. So basically what happens with these 3D flowers is you roll them. And so it gives you a three-dimensional flower. And so all of these will give different flower looks for your project. So I'm going to grab one. I'm going to grab this one, say, and you're going to add it to canvas. Okay, and this one, it's giving me about 5 inches. I'm actually going to make it bigger and see how this looks when it gets bigger. Okay, and the color here doesn't matter. You can always change the color. You can go up here and change the color if you'd like, if you're actually cutting it with paper. We're using poster for this, so it's going to be dependent on the colors in the poster. So the color doesn't really necessarily matter. And then what you're going to do, so we've got, we'll make it around 9 inches or 8.5 inches or so. And we're going to click Make. So that's all it takes for this part. You're going to click Make. I'm going to save it. Okay, I'm going to save it to Drama. And I'm going to rolled flower, say. Okay. Roller flower. So this this is what it looks like on your mat. And so we will click Continue, and then I'm going to actually go to the Cricut, and I will show you how that looks on the Cricut. Okay, so before we actually put the poster into the Cricut to cut, you need to put the poster on your mat. So here's my Cricut mat. This is an older one, and I'm intentionally using an older one because it's not quite as sticky. And sometimes if you have a really sticky new mat, it's a little bit hard to get the paper off. So I've intentionally chosen one of my older mats. And basically you're going to take, you notice at the top here, you've got the grid. I'm going to take the poster and I'm going to put it right on the grid. And you really want to make sure that that's kind of affixed down on that so that it doesn't come up when your machine is cutting. All right, so now we've got that on there and it's ready to go into the Cricut machine. Okay, so here I am at the Cricut machine, and I'm going to open up the machine here. Okay, and you're going to, so I've got my mat here, and the mat goes underneath you can see the little brackets here, and you're going to push that in. Now you need to set your dial to the type of material you're cutting. So I'm actually setting it to cardstock because this is cardstock type. And then I'm actually going to flip over to on the computer over here and click continue to make it. Okay. And the computer has recognized it. And so now, I don't know if you can see this light flashing. Okay, the light flashes, and I'm going to click that. And you're going to watch the Cricut in action. There it goes. Okay, so we are back at the workbench and going to remove this. Now, it's sometimes easier to flip it over and peel it off this way. Okay, so there we go. I think that looks great. Now I have another one, a different version that I had cut earlier. It's a different type. So now we're going to try rolling it. So you can use, they have fancy rollers you can use. I actually don't have one. So what I did is I took a couple of skewers and I taped them, and there's a hole at the top here. So what happens is you need to take your flour. All right, this is the center here, and you're going to glue to the center there. So you're going to take your flour and you're going to roll it. So you want to put this in the center there, okay? And if you notice, I put some tape here just to give it kind of a place to rub up against, so that it has a kind of a barrier there, I guess. All right, and now I'm just going to roll, and now it does get a little tricky. It's a little hard to start, so you're just going to just keep rolling it. Now at first it's not going to look like anything, but don't fret. It will. Okay, and you want to try to keep it even on the bottom there. They have fancy rollers that you can get. I just don't have one, and so I created this just to make it work for me. And notice I'm keeping it rather tight. You can see the top there. You'll see I'm going to loosen it up in a little bit. But if you notice here, you've got this scalloped edge. You could do it where it's more spiky. If you have fancy scissors, you could cut with the fancy scissors. The ones that have the like the paper card making scissors. You could use those. So you don't have to have a Cricut. I don't want you to get discouraged if you don't have a Cricut. All right, so keep rolling till we get to the center. It's a little cumbersome here because there's a lot. Now, what happens is, if you see this part here, that becomes the bottom of your flower, okay? And what I'm gonna do now, and it's gonna sound really, I'm gonna actually let go of it. And it's going to release, and this is when you're gonna start seeing the pretty flower petals. You see that? Now, I've done this one here with the color on the outside, but you can do it the other way around too, with the color on the inside. I'm going to do that with this one so you can see. Okay, so here, let me get this one set. Okay, now this one, I'm going to roll inward. Okay. Come on. Get in there. So now the color's going to be on the inside, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. This works especially nice if you have like two-sided, you know, paper, like with different colors on each side. How pretty that would be. And I love this. This is so cool because you've got the colors of the poster, which are beautiful, obviously, and you can, you know, take postcards, you can take, brochures, you can take magazine covers. I've done flowers with magazine covers, and they're gorgeous. Okay. So the same process. This pattern is a little bit different, but it's the exact same process. Okay, I try to keep that as even as possible. I'm not doing a very good job there. I've made hundreds of flowers on that I've used for garments that are really cool. All right, so again, you would roll this up, try to keep that together. Roll this up, and this becomes the base, and we'll get to the gluing in just a moment. All right, so again, you're going to let go of that and let it spiral out. And see, this one's got the color. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So you could do it with the color on the outside if you want, and have like a white flower if you wanted a special effect, where you just see the color like from the side, or you could do it this way with the color on the inside like that. How gorgeous is that? So we're going to glue that, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Okay, so here we have our two flowers. And basically, you're going to take your hot glue gun. You know, you can use hot glue gun. I'm going to use a hot glue gun today just because it's quicker. But you could use glue dots. You could use, you know, like a white glue, school glue. It just takes longer to set up if you're doing something like that. And I actually want something that's a little bit faster. So just put your glue there. And you really want to make sure you get all of the pieces kind of attached to that glue so that it stays together. There we go. Now, in order to make it look a little bit more realistic, you might even want to take some of these petals and bend them out just a little bit. Okay. The other thing too might be kind of fun. I have a bead here that kind of kind of looks good with it. You could even put a bead in there if you wanted for the center of the flower. That's certainly a possibility. So we got that flower. I'm going to add a little bit more glue there. It doesn't seem to be staying on the side here. Okay, and then let's do this one too. So again, so you've got you can see all the different pieces of it. Put just a little bit tighter, wrap that around. Okay, and again, like I said, I'm going to use the hot glue, but you can use any type of glue that works for you. Okay, and then wrap that around and really try to get that glue into all those bottom pieces so that it stays together. And just be careful if I'm using low melt glue here, which you certainly can use as well, just so that you don't burn your fingers. Go. And again, just kind of like taking some of those and just kind of pushing them out just a little bit so that it has a little bit more shape to it. But you could certainly, this one feels like the center there is a little bit open. So I'm actually going to put this bead in that center section. Let's see how that looks. It's kind of fun. It pulls out the blue in the poster there. So you could do this. What's cool about this is you could do this and then have the exterior. If you remember in the original, this one here, this one actually is this center section. They're glued together, but the center section is this same flower here. You can see that. The outside is a whole separate flower. So I actually put two flowers together for this one. So what you could do is you could put the center with the white up, and then you could do the outside with a different color. And we'll try that. I'm actually going to cut some more. We're going to go back to the Cricut. I'm going to cut some more of the exterior flowers, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we're back in Cricut Design Space, and now I'm going to look at images again. Okay, I'm going to look at a flower, and this time I want a flower that, let's see, that we can make multiple copies of, and I think this one might work. Let me see. Let's see what that one looks like. Okay, first it's ginormous. We don't need it that large. Okay, and let's try. I'm gonna hide that. Okay, so what I just did is I don't want the center on this. I just want the petals. So if you noticed, if you go over here and click on the eye, it eliminates that so that you just have the petals, and that way we can use the petals for the petals of the base of the flower. Okay, so now we've got, I like this. The color doesn't matter here because we're going to use the color from the poster. All right, so I'm going to duplicate this. I just right-clicked. I'm going to duplicate and bring that over. Again, we want to keep it within the 12 inches because that's the size of our mat. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so that we can have the flower petals getting smaller as it goes in towards the center. So I'm going to duplicate that again and bring that down here. Make that just a little smaller, and then duplicate. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Let's see. Oops, move that up a little bit. It would do that anyway when you move it to the next level. Okay, and how about 4? We'll do 4 for now. And you see over here, you can see the different cuts. All right, so now we're going to go to make. All right, and you see the 4 different flower petals there. And now we're going to go back to the Cricut, and I will show you how that is going to go. Okay, here I am back at the workbench, and we have all the cuts. You can see, I don't know if you can see them. There you go, you can see them right there. I'm gonna try to pull this. So that was a little finicky getting off there. And so again, I'm going to use this like little spatula to try to lift it up. I've actually in the past have accidentally cut or ripped some of the paper. I'm just going to cut these little pieces off that didn't separate the way I wanted them to. All right. All right, here we go. To the side. So we've got, oops, this piece over here. Okay, I'm actually going to cut this as well. Just one, oops, up above. Sorry if that got darker on you. All right, so we've got our 4 sizes here. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to take this, I'm going to roll these a little bit. It's a little bit easier to roll them this way to give them that, remember I was talking about giving them that kind of shape, the flower shape. So if you roll them and just using the handle of my spatula to get that kind of curled effect that I'm going for. I love being able to use posters like this. You could certainly use music for this as well, or, you know, like I said, images from a magazine, or you know, those beautiful books with you know, photography in them. That would be gorgeous too. And you can use them for a variety of things. You could make cards with them. Obviously, I'm using them today for accessorizing gift bags and boxes, but they can be used for a variety of things. All right, so now what we're going to do here is we're going to take these, and I'm going to offset them. So we'll do offset them like this, offset that, and then we can add the other one in the middle. So I'm going to push this one up a little bit more. Okay, and so we'll add these. We're actually going to glue these. I don't know, what do you think? Let me actually just look for a second. Do we like, well, that's kind of pretty with the white in the middle, or we like that one. I also have, you know what I've got here? I've got some netting. We could even take some netting and cut that and maybe put a little bit of netting in there as just as another decorative element. All right, so now this one's a little bit different. I actually had many more layers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 layers on this one, and they were not quite as large. So you can, there's so many options here. So I'm literally going to take a glue gun, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue in the middle there, and then just like I said, offset this, just glue that down, a little bit of glue, offset this, and a little bit of glue, and offset. Now, I don't know, what do you think? Should I wonder if I should add more. Maybe I should make more of these. I feel like it needs to have more. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to take that same flower pattern. I'm going to make smaller bits, and I'm going to come back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've cut 4 more pieces, and I did it exactly the way I had done the others. So I duplicated, and then I made it a little bit smaller, and I've rolled the edges like I did the others. So I'm going to add these to our flower. The reason I'm mentioning this is because this one's a much bigger flower than the example that I gave, and I think I'd like to have more petals in there just to give it more depth. All right, so again, we're going to offset that so that we got a little bit of, you could also even put you know, like a foam piece in between if you really wanted to pull that up a little bit. That would certainly work to give it a little bit more height if that's what you were going for. Let's see. I love how the colors and the petals come through. I think that just is so beautiful. Especially when you've got posters that have lots of really gorgeous colors in them like this one does. Okay. Curl that up a little bit more. Okay, and then add this one. Okay, so now we've got the base here. And then, like I said, we can add this flower here, or we can add this, the white one. So it kind of looks like this is the bud in the center of the flower. That's kind of cool. And then you've got the colors out there, or you can go with this one here. I even like I was saying before, I have this piece of netting. Just cut it in half here and just see what this might look like if I were to kind of crisscross that. I'm just kind of playing with materials here. Give that, that's kind of cool. And spread that out a little bit. You can always trim that down too. That gives it some nice, how cute is that? That's cute. And then, or we could do it with the white, like that. All right, I'm going to scrunch this up in the center. I mean, it's really all like depending on what you have for materials, what you know, your imagination certainly. Kind of flail that about a little bit. I'm going to do it on the opposite as well. Again, I don't want to burn my fingers, so I'm just kind of. If you've got ribbon, you could certainly use ribbon here. That would be great too. I'm just going to trim this so it's around the same size as the other sides. Okay. All right, now is the time. That one or this one. Tell me in the comments which one you like better. You know what? I'm going to go with this one. Why not? Then we could use this one for another project. That would be kind of cool. All right, so I'm adding just some glue to the bottom there. And then gluing that right down in the center. Just kind of try to pull some of those flower buds out. Then you've got, you see the colors on the side there. It almost looks like it's, you know, the center of a flower where the center is a different color. And then you can take this and just a thought, I've got a gift bag here, putting that on a gift bag. Isn't that beautiful? That just looks so pretty to me. And how wonderful that would be as a gift for someone on opening night or closing night, or a director gift, or, you know, a gift to, I don't know, your vocal coach or something like that for a production that you're involved in. So, you know, the possibilities are really limitless here. So you've got, here we've got a little box, and this was just a simple box. I've got another one here. Just a simple box that I had. You can get any sort of box, and just adding just this flower with the poster design on it. How beautiful is that? Or adding it to a gift bag. I love that too. I just think that, you know, you've got such a personalized gift here. So I hope you try this. You could even add Little flower like that. I love it. So thank you for joining me for this week's version of Theater Crafts. I hope you try this. If you do, please send me pictures so I can see what it looks like. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.